Okay, now as a follow-up to talking about when we have those brown backgrounds and we want to do that like wood stain look, this is the textures folder within Idealty, then textures. Primarily everything we do is going to be with chalkboard and white chalk or normal paper and the marker or these distressed cardboards, craft paper, something of the sort. So I want to show you with wood and the wood stain like I was talking about. We might work with these mockup files, which I haven't had you download yet, but I probably will. So that is how the mockup file starts originally. Then here we just put a wood texture on it, right? And then I put a badge that I made, and that badge, as I said, I tried around with vivid light, with hard light, with color dodge, lighter color. Sometimes it disappears altogether. What worked was soft light. So soft light's probably our best bet for wood stain, but you do have to click around and try a little bit. Then I placed the transparents that we have around here, and you'll see those two, the group with all of them has soft light. So that was just a real life example of how to do that. Now, regarding this piece, something like this in action, this is a process shot, which is in the mockups folder you saw that there were guerrilla art mocks, print material mocks, small image mocks, but then when it's badge work or lettering, etc., we're going to want to do a process mock, because that way we can get 2 social posts or pretty images out of one. So the process mocks would be someone's hand doing it or it on a sketchbook, etc. I'll show you an example of one that you'll download is the hand illustration mock-up. Sorry, it's slow because I'm downloading things. And so these are the mock-ups. So it's the same. When you double-click the smart object, it's just a white piece of paper. You drop in the image, and then it will mock it up like this. So that allows us to get a couple posts out of each time we do this. The second is this, for example, where the person's hand isn't involved. So how do we get a background like that? First, we are going to want to, from our textures, we're going to want to get recycled cardboard. So I'll do the rippled cardboard. So I'll place rippled cardboard, and then we're going to place our transparent badges. And then we're just going to probably end up doing soft light on them. So size it up. Now, I could drop them one by one. I happen to have them here in a folder. So I will just move that, and you'll have access to that as well. But theoretically, you'd be dropping them one by one. And let me size this up. Size it up more. And with normal, these are all black. So we are just going to size them up so that it fills the sheet. That's too much. That's reasonable. It'll take a second to save because it's a big file. And let's just go in and drag some of these up to fill it out. Size a little smaller. Okay, now if I actually cared, I would have them evenly distributed so it looks nice like it did in that other thing we were looking at. The renders won't take this long for you naturally. It's just because it's a huge file. And then we'll hit soft light, which is our safest bet. We should always probably start with it, but linear dodge and those are a good bet as well. Then we'll click save. It'll take a while to save up. After doing this once, we'll have it templated. So on the process shots, you wouldn't have to go in and do this again. You would merely update the badge that we just placed somewhere. The background can stay the same. The only reason that we have to do this again is because I saved that as a JPEG and lost the PSD. Otherwise, we could just use that existing background. So it'll take a good long while to update the smart objects, and I apologize. There you see. And now we will want to simply add the image of whatever we just mocked up. So say it is the, say it was the share your passion. We'll want to place that there, but that doesn't look too realistic because it's so black. So we would want to do, say, the marker texture over it. You can see that has the lines of the marker. Then let's use the clipping mask on that and maybe lighten the whole thing up a little bit. We could also always find a pencil texture. Always scary typing something with P on a guy's computer. And sorry, I got all these files downloading for you, so it's taking a while. Granted, with that done, there, it would be something like that. Now the file that's currently opening, and which is why that video was so slow, was because I wanted to show you the chalk background, which is this. So this is, you'll see at 100%, they're a little too white, and at normal. So what I did was I just put them at 10%. And that's something we can do on the backdrop if we want something to hang out when it's a chalk backdrop. Again, it's just that chalk background, as I said. We could put this at 20, we could put it at 30. I think 10's a nice, subtle one. Something I might ask you to do is, say, with a badge template, replace this badge in here. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you regarding the white chalk is the best go-to for anything. White chalk is the best go-to for any time we're dropping it over an image. So let's say we do the explore more. So you would have this as a PNG, I have it as a PSD, which is why we'll have to get rid of this backdrop and that backdrop. See, over a lot of images, the black will be the best bet. As you see there, with something like this where the background's already kind of dark. Now, how do we find that? Here. Okay, we will want to size it up and drop a white chalk on it. So we would go into our textures in our box folder and drop white chalk on it, and then do a clipping mask. And then we'd be all good to export that. Sometimes there will be some stray stuff that I didn't catch, in which case you might want to rasterize it, go in with the eraser, and just clear those spots up. But other times it looks nice and distressed that way.